Thank you. Second one is a little longer, but I am going to attempt, this is my first time actually slamming a poem, and so I'm going to be reading it faster, I guess. I guess that's what slamming, slamming actually what else about it? I don't know. It's also depressing. And it is also dedicated to the person to whom I wrote this about, and I don't think he's here as well. So I should probably stop doing that. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. It is called very, very optimistically, The Last Act of Romance. Our grand gestures dead, out of breath, no more sweat, aspiring Olympic sprinters in the airport before the plane leaves, all to the death. What about bundles of bleeding flowers, or a prince arriving to your dusty tower? No, these things that people only sing, they don't have power. There was one I came across, a wounded puppy, crying and lost, whose baggage I'd carry no matter what the cost. His soul was poached like a bear, and even Lady Justice declared it wasn't fair for someone to be so uncared. Cue me. Good Samaritan acts of listening and holding, molding you back to shape, reading your skin like braille, your bruises and your scars from head to tail. Fingers crossed that this was a test I wouldn't fail. Seedlings of us forming together, seedlings forming of us together like Sonny and Cher, growing in the garden of despair. Never have I touched so much, never have I thought it was enough to simply see and be seen, that maybe this dream of two princes building a kingdom together is not another child's toy as it seems. You told me once, you give me so much medicine, and I couldn't help but begin thinking that it might just be written. And even for me, every caress was clearing the mess of past events finally laid to rest. The dark red wound closing, all our time together felt like I was overdosing. With you, I'm no actor, there's no posing. No specters, stale lectures, no thoughts orbiting the speed of light, colliding as they usually might. No need to explain the silence code to two people who've always known that it really can be golden to just be enveloped in each other and soundless, where feeling good for once is boundless. That one night, I tried to erase the tears from my face, and you looked up with inquiring eyes, but never realized that here was a guy whose time I didn't have to buy or pry from his books. He'd wrap himself around me like a hook, making me feel like a big-time crook for stealing him from the rest of the world. You weren't even mine, but you felt more like a lover than any other I'd had before. Now I got a confession, and you might think I'm messing, but that last evening, while holding you with my frail arms, you curled with your eyes shut, jeans half down, dick out. I sat back and observed like a painter, the background getting fainter, out of focus because it was all on you. On the edge of my tongue were the words ready to be sung. You are so beautiful. But instead, I swallowed them dead. Because, like history says, you don't know what's playing in their heads. Days later, the seedling's now a beanstalk, and I'm still rewinding to close-ups of your cock when you tell me my antibiotics are making you sick. Word indigestion from desserts served as entrees of sugary expressions, too much to absorb and question, saying, let's just take some time. But I knew it was goodbye. That's when the theories flooded in. Maybe I wasn't hot enough to begin. Maybe I was too genuine. Maybe. Then the rift began to shift, the silence drifting in is dry fog, and I lay down and whimper like a dog. The closest I've come to normalcy is a reminder that it's not to be. So now that you're rehabilitated, you go off, just like you're slated, taking the pieces of me I laid out when we were naked. And as for me, in case you forgot me, I'm howling at the moon that we no longer spoon, and I'm the buffoon because I rolled away the boulder to my cave, where feet have rarely strayed, hoping you'd stay, seeing that we're just two broken slaves to love. Oh, you say you could drink a case of me, but you barely even took a sip. Never touched my lips, couldn't you see through me that I began to tip and fall, how you would call, filter through my thoughts on the phone and choke out, I miss you, to the dial tone? Staring at the photo, the one I still own, Another one who came to the show, another one who decided to go. Another one who left for the encore, another one who decided none is more. But alas, as every moment fleeting does pass, this broken heart is not my last, and you become another folder of my past. Suddenly you let go of me, shuffle out of my den, the band-aid rips my skin and I'm bleeding again. It goes deep, steeped in loose leaf memories. Cause you see, every serenade you gave was a grenade, waiting to be played and replayed, going in through my ears and coming out as tears. Twilights and nights with me and myself in both corners of the ring to fight. Twitching in fits of hysterics that all these treats were secretly chords of tricks, and yet, the fool remains a fool, because you're still the one I pick. Hey, if this is all news, if you're sorry you ever knew that I believe there even existed a bird before it flew, here it is, spelled out in poetry, so you won't even have to see my clown sad face or me. This is my last act of romance. No more Chet Baker-inspired slow dance, rapping, and delivering words when given the chance. No more noble knight fighting for you, galloping towards certain death with lance in hand. I'm not asking you to match it, but I'll give you the hatchet. You can choose to carve new black circles on a vinyl track, or cut me loose and let me starve on a diet of flashbacks while the odds scrape the sky and stack against me. Forgive me if I flooded you with tidal waves, if I craved too hard. Forgive me if I can't be a machine, programmed to fuck without feeling. Forgive me if I overthink, that all I was to you was just some huggable, touchy twink. The ending may be written, but I'm handing you the pen. If all you need at midnight is not a magic carpet flight, if what you want are the rats and not the horses, for all my forces to be disarmed, to forget that I ever charmed you, take a good look, and call it your final glance, because that was the last act of romance.